Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on with this YSL RICO case because it's been some developments, man. Now, there's a guy by the name of YSL Mondo, and here's a picture of him right here, right? Now, YSL Mondo is one of the quote-unquote co-founders of YSL. Now, when he talks about YSL, he talks about it as a rap group, as a collective of artists. And he's actually gone on record by saying he doesn't believe it's a criminal street gang or organization. Kind of opposite of what Gunna said in court. So I don't know how much weight that's going to have because you still got the court case going on, right? Now, YSL Mondo is out here dropping some tea, dropping some information, letting it be known that he knows Fani Willis. Like he really, really knows Fani Willis. And she's pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. Now, for those of you who don't know who Fani Willis is, she's actually the DA, the head DA in charge of this YSL RICO case. She's actually at the head of all the RICO cases there in Atlanta. She's gone on the news several times talking about these RICO cases and how it's her mission to get rid of gangs in Atlanta. Now, when you see Fani Willis, you see somebody who's really tough on crime, who's really trying to push for the best in her community, and no fault to her, right? She's got a job to do, and she obviously has it out for these quote-unquote rap crews or what she feels are gangs, because she's also at the head of the YFN RICO, which is YFN Lucci and his crew and stuff, right? So it looks like YSL Mondo feels like that she's actually putting an image out there that she's not, and he's still repping for YSL. If you look at his social media, nothing has changed, and he's actually gone on the record before to say something about Gunna. Now, in this Rolling Stone news story that came out, it seems like they go in depth about some of the things that YSL Mondo was saying. So let's take a look at that, right? All right, so here in the headline, you see it says Fani Willis was a lawyer for a YSL co-founder. He says she's not who she seems. Now, that's a little vague, but it leaves you to believe that there's something out there that we don't know about the district attorney there in Fulton County, right? Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has built a reputation as a tough-on-crime prosecutor eager to fill Atlanta prisons through sweeping indictments. But YSL Mondo, who co-founded Young Stoner Life music crew with Young Thug in the early 2010s, tells Rolling Stone that Fani Willis he sees on TV isn't the same woman who served as his defense attorney in 2019 during an aggravated assault case. Now, obviously, he has a history with her because she was his attorney. They probably had a lot of communications trying to fight his case, and this was only about 4 years ago. So it looks like, man, she jumped to the other side. She used to be a defense attorney, and now she's with the prosecutor's side, the DA, and she's moved up in the ranks to the top, where she is the head prosecutor in this situation, right? Now, or she at least runs the office for all the prosecutors, you know, as the district attorney, right? Now, the story continues by saying this in quotes, and I'm assuming this is what YSL Mondo said. He said, "This is not her character. This is not who she is," he says during a phone call. Also in quotes, he says, "I didn't had auntie to nephew, mother to son type of talks with her. I know this is not her character. This is what made me start looking at the YSL case like, I know it's bigger than just her. It's politics behind this. It's other people that's behind her pulling strings." So basically putting it out there that this is way bigger than we think it is. Like there's people behind the scenes who are pulling strings and want to bring down YSL. For what reasons? I don't know. YSL, up until the point of the RICO and the arrest, was doing great in the rap game. You had Gunna having an amazing career. Pushin P had just came out. Gunna's album was just #1. It was up for them. They were doing great. So when this situation happened, man, it seemed like everything went crashing down. And even prior to that, Young Thug was having one of his best runs as far as his solo albums as well. And it seemed like everything with YSL was clicking on all cylinders, man. But now they've been set back. It pretty much destroyed and blew up the whole YSL. Like, I don't see them battling back from this and being successful in the rap game. After the tapes were released of Gunna in court, it seemed like a lot of people made up their decision that they wasn't rocking with him anymore, you know what I mean? Now, the story also says this. Willis, who is currently prosecuting Young Thug and 13 other defendants in a RICO case alleging that YSL is a criminal gang, which he has denied, worked as a prosecutor in Fulton County DA's office for 16 years, but she briefly left the office in 2018 to establish her own private practice. The law offices of Fani Willis, LLC. Mondo, a West Atlanta rapper who dropped his debut album, One of Them Ones, on January 17th, says he hadn't previously known of Willis or her reputation as a prosecutor before his cousins suggested her as a defense attorney. In quotes, it says, "I never heard of this lady before. I never heard of no cases she fought or nothing. I just went off of the strength of my cousin saying that she was a good lawyer. She's a good lady and she's her friend. I went off that and then I hired her." So it looks like he went to a family member and they told him to hire Fani Willis as his defense attorney. He posted a clip of his case in 2019 court proceedings on Instagram. In the video, which has since been deleted, the two stand before a judge and Willis pats him on his shoulder while he hugs his child, who was brought up to the defense's table. In quotes, it also says, "It really wasn't nothing that I was trying to keep secret because the video is on my page." He says, "The video right there went viral. I was shooting that out there because I know it's going to end up coming up." So basically, he's just trying to clear the air. Like, yo, I know her, but, I don't have any dealings with her outside of when she was my defense attorney. So he just letting people know, but he didn't anticipate that video was going to go viral. Now, Mondo says he posted the video to proactively prevent anyone from thinking any weird stuff about his interaction with Willis. There's been immense controversy surrounding December's plea agreements in the YSL indictment, and Mondo indicated that he doesn't want his name anywhere near the speculation. So basically putting it out there that, yo, I'm going to put this video out there so you guys know I have worked with this lady. She was my attorney. There is a video of us in court together, but you know what? I have no other dealings with her outside of that, right? Now, it continues by saying this. Fani Willis, reached via email, appeared to confirm that she represented YSL Mondo, though she used his government name, which he requested not be printed. And noted, in quotes, she said, "I do not know him by the name that you call him. All conversations with him are attorney-client protected, and past confirming I represented him would be inappropriate," Willis wrote. "Oh, I think I can say I liked him. I hope he is well." So basically letting it be known that she has to keep it professional by saying, yo, that's a past case. We still have attorney-client protection, so I'm not going to say anything about that. But I liked him. He was a good guy. I don't know if that was just a shot, some shade, but it definitely lets you know that she's not denying the fact that she was his attorney, right? Now, she added, "When I represented him, he received 110% effort from me. I advocated for him with zeal. I tend to meet my clients where they are. I hope you understand what that means. I want to see him do amazing things with his life, and I hope that's where he's headed." So wishing him the best, really. Saying that, yes, I represented him in the past, and hopefully he's doing good and doing better. Now, do I think that there's any kind of backdoor dealings going on in this situation? Something shady afoot? I don't know, man. These RICO cases came one after another so quickly, and it's so widespread through hip-hop. It seems like maybe there might be a bigger thing going on here, but I don't like to get into conspiracies and stuff like that. I really hate that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But what I do know is YSL Mondo luckily didn't get caught up in this situation, and he's free. And he's able to go out there and speak on behalf of YSL and Young Thug. And he's done on several occasions, like this video that he put on his social media.
It's like some crew family shit, like click. This ain't no fucking game. This is on some family little regular shit. And it just blew up after that, bro. We didn't understand how much leadership quality we had. That what we did wrong. And I'm gonna say this on camera, cause I ain't really got a chance to say that. We didn't know how much leadership quality we had, bro. We didn't know all these people finna run behind us and was looking up to us and wanted to be like us.
We had that influence.
We didn't know that, bro. We was out here just being us, being regular. And we turned around the whole world saying slime.
Now, as you heard there, YSL Mondo basically put it out there that they were on some family stuff. They was on some crew stuff. And when they got into the game, they were extremely young and eventually, become superstars, especially when you're talking about Young Thug and Gunna. They became international superstars, and it happened quickly. And he foot stomped the fact that they ain't no gang, that they're more like a movement and a family. So probably trying to help out Young Thug's case, but at this point, it looks like, man, he's gonna need all the help he can get. Now, the story finishes by saying a few things. It says, Mondo says that Willis was a great attorney for him, getting his aggravated assault charge dropped to a lesser one and having him sentenced to a program in lieu of prison time. He says that even after his sentence, she worked to get him an early release from the program due to what was going on as far as in the community at the time, right? And beyond her case, he says that he too shared a cool relationship with her, being aware of his rap career and even using it in her defense. That's why the YSL indictment is surprising to Mondo. He goes on to say this in quotes. That's not her character, he contends. She's almost like not really street, but she understands what goes on, bro. She understands life to a certain degree. She ain't trying to take all these little black dudes down. She ain't that type of woman, man. I'm telling you, she's not. And to be honest, that's probably true. When she was his defense attorney, maybe she related with him based on the fact that they came from the same community and she could kind of see his way in doing things. And maybe that's why he felt like she was a good attorney. On the flip side, that's what makes her a good prosecutor as well. Makes her office good at these cases because they have an understanding of the inner workings of the streets and the community. So there's a double side to that, right? It also says this. It says Mondo recalls that Willis' final advice to him provided a glimpse of where her career was headed. Obviously to the top because she's the DA for the whole Fulton County. She's got a lot of big cases, right? Now in quotes it says, she was like, don't mess up my name now. You know I'm about to get ready to run for this head DA. You mess around and do something else, I'm going to sock it to you. He recalls their conversation. So she was just letting him be known, like, yo, I'm going to be on the other side of the fence if I win this head DA position. So don't mess up because it'll be me after you, and I don't play. Willis told us the comments sound like to me, but I do not recall the conversation verbatim. So she basically didn't remember that conversation that she had. But I mean, he's on the opposite end. So she's the attorney and he's the client. So he's going to remember every word, right? Now, after his case was resolved, the two didn't talk and he hadn't kept up with her until 2 years later when he saw her press conference announcing her desire to convict his friends in YSL, including Young Thug. In quotes, next thing you know, I saw her on TV doing this indictment and I was so puzzled, like, man, where is this coming from? He recalls. So basically he was saying he felt surprised by that, right? Now Mondo says he met Thug through their mutual friend Buck, and they co-created Young Stoner Life solely as a music crew. In 2019, he had a public disagreement with Thug after Mondo's Instagram comments about founding YSL were misconstrued. But he says that the two have since mended their differences and that he's been keeping up with Thug's family since the indictment. In quotes, he said, I've been talking to Mama Thug. I've been talking to his sisters, he says, adding that Thug is staying strong given his circumstances. Thug is keeping a good spirit and keeping his head up, but certain stuff he's just disappointed about, he says, declining to get into specifics. Now, one could only imagine the thing that he's probably upset about is the Gunna situation, because even YSL Mondo came out on social media and did a live and was basically talking about Gunna, pretty much what seemed like throwing Young Thug under the bus, even though Young Thug hasn't commented on this himself. Now, it ends by saying this. Young Thug, real name Jeffrey Williams, and 13 of his co-defendants are set to begin trial sometime in the next 6 weeks after the extensive jury selection process concludes. And from here on, it doesn't look good for Young Thug. We're going to have to stay tuned and see where this case ends up. But what do y'all think, man? Do y'all think that YSL Mondo might have some inside information on Fani Willis, or his relationship with her as the client, and her being the attorney, gave him a different look at her. She was, at that time, she's defending him, so she's a little bit more sympathetic to his situation. She's actually trying to help him. But now that she's on the other end of the aisle, man, it seems like she's gunning for anybody she feels is running the gang or is running up the crime rate in Atlanta. Now, what do y'all think about this? Tell me in the comments, man. Is this just another thing that happens when you're dealing with these type of cases, or is it a possibility that there's something bigger going on like YSL Mondo is saying? Now, with that, this is your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.